All right, so I'm gonna start over if you don't mind for the purpose of the recording. I'm just gonna take 1 more minute to go over it. So my name is Tshiamo Gaetsewe. I am the Secretary General of JCI South Africa. So I am the National Secretary General. And as you can see there on my slide, I recently learned how to say Secretary General in Xhosa. And as it's written there, it says Unobala Jikelele. And apparently that's, Secretary General in Xhosa. So that was very interesting for me. And I thought that I'm going to add it on my slide. So that's why it is there, Unobala Jikelele. And I was just going over my name's pronunciation, which I was saying that I've really heard weird ways of how people say my name. So far that some people have even went as far as saying tsunami instead of Tshiamo. And the most interesting one as well, it's Siri. And when you are directing somewhere, especially when you are in an Uber. So in an Uber recently, I heard the voiceover say, drop Tshiamo here. So yeah, it's very weird ways of how people say my name. And yeah, my surname is Gaetsewe. So you must please just stress that G in a very South African vernacular way, Gaetsewe, if it helps you. So I hope that me saying slowly like that is helpful. So welcome everyone. I was saying that Junior Chamber International, that is basically the acronym for JCI, or rather JCI is the acronym for Junior Chamber International. We are a global leadership organization. We are in 115 countries throughout the world, and we are found in more than 5,000 locations all over the world. So just from that already, you can imagine how far this global leadership network reaches. JCI South Africa is a national body that is affiliated to JCI headquarters. We refer to it as JCI HQ, and our headquarters are found in America. We were established many moons ago by a man called Henry Gaetsewe, and he started this organization called JCI. JCI is the only youth organization that is affiliated to the United Nations. So that is something that's like really cool. I saw the other day someone was talking about sustainable development goals on social media, and they were just talking about how they recently put together a training. And I hope that the person is here tonight. And I was just thinking, this person said that she would like to know what JCI is about. So how cool would it be when she finds out that we're affiliated to the United Nations, therefore the Sustainable Development Goals and all the other directive that the United Nations takes, it is what JCI takes as well. So a lot of our projects are around the Sustainable Development Goals, and yeah, you will learn how we structure our project and how we go about achieving our goals in this session. So JCI is for members who are between the years of 18 to 40 years, because we believe that that is the youth age. So we are a youth leadership organization. All right. We are dedicated to raising leaders, as I said. And the other thing that I wanted to mention, I was talking about JCI South Africa and how it is affiliated to the to the headquarters body, right? So all the 5,000 locations that JCI reaches, every one of them is affiliated to the headquarters. So we are divided in local organizations. We don't refer to the local organizations as chapters. We just use the word chapter so that other people can understand, because it's easy when I say the Bloemfontein chapter or the Durban chapter instead of, a local organization, someone, might not click. So even though you will hear us talk about, when we tell you what is Jci, we'll say chapter. Officially, we say local organizations. So every local organization has members in it, and these members pay a membership fee to their local organization. And every local organization pays an affiliation fee to the national organization, and the national organization pays an affiliation fee to JCI HQ. So I hope you guys can follow that. After this session, I'm gonna ask you guys to leave me your email addresses, especially the ones who reached out to me or are joining because of other people whose email addresses I don't have, because those who are interested, I'll need to connect them to a local organization near them. So whichever city, whichever province you are, we will be connecting you to the local organization there. And there's someone who reached out to me who was in the Northwest, and I was just saying to her that we don't have JCI South Africa or a local organization under JCI South Africa in the Northwest as yet. However, we do have an online organization which was piloted this year. Therefore, if you are in far, areas where we're a bit far from you, we can look into having you join, an online local organization. So the reason I mentioned money or, affiliation is because we are one, as I said, a membership-based, organization, and our members are required to pay a membership fee. And I'm going to explain to you in this session why we ask for a membership fee and what is the benefit to you of paying a membership fee if you become a JCI member. So we develop leaders in 4 areas of opportunity, or through 4 areas of opportunity. And these 4 areas of opportunity are called business and entrepreneurship, and we have international cooperation, we have individual development, and we have community impact. So the reason that we have 4 areas, and the reason I'm starting with this, is because I want to highlight that JCI is not a charity organization. We are a non-profit organization, but we don't do charity work. Rather, we believe in doing projects that impact the community sustainably, meaning that when we do a project, we don't look at doing it once off. We look at doing a project throughout a long period of time. And we also, as we do this project, wish to involve different stakeholders, especially the community members and the local businesses, local partners in those different communities. So the project that we do, for example, I'm just going to make an example of charity work. We wouldn't say that we're gonna raise funds to buy school shoes for kids in a school, for example, because we're thinking how many kids, and such a project is making the people more dependent on you than you coming in and saying, let's work together to better our community. I hope I'm making sense. And me saying this does not mean that we look down on charity work that is done like that. We don't at all. I'm just explaining what we as JCI do and the reasons we do it this way and why we focus on sustainable projects. So as time goes, you will learn more about these. So back to the 4 areas of opportunity, and I'm going to repeat them just so that you understand well. Business and entrepreneurship, 1, we provide trainings there. A lot of trainings in JCI are about your own development, and we really believe that every JCI member should come to a point where they are economically impacting their community in a positive way. And for us to be able to impact our community in a positive way is that we do that through encouraging our members to go into businesses. And we understand that not everyone will be a business person, right? But nonetheless, we will provide our members with those kind of trainings and just to get you thinking. And if you don't yourself, go into starting a business, then at least if one of your friends or members ask you about it, then you know how to advise them better. Some people in JCI, through the trainings that we provide, even go on to give these kind of trainings and charge a fee as a way of economically impacting their community. But we will talk more about those kind of things as time goes. And coming to international cooperation, because we are found in 5,000 locations. Okay, I'm just going to pause here. I see a hand from my co-host, so maybe there's a technical issue. I think.
Madam NSG, I just wanted to say there's a sound coming from behind, so if you can just be careful of that. It's making it very difficult for us to hear you. I don't know if it's just my PC or there's a general sound that's occurring behind when you're speaking.
All right. How about now? Ntate, is it okay?
Perfect. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much. Right. So I hope that everyone can hear me clearly at this moment. So I've just touched on the first area of opportunity that JCI offers. So areas of opportunity means that what is the benefit to you? And these areas of opportunities, those are the 4 things that you stand to benefit when you become a JCI member. So I spoke about business and entrepreneurship. And under that, the other thing that, the kind of program that we have there is called CYE. And CYE is basically a kind of competition where the members that we have are at the process of starting a business, or you want to start a business, you stand a chance to join this program or this competition. And you're going to go through a series of pitching. And at the end, you stand to win money and also to be exposed to mentors in the line of work that you do, or just mentors in general. So under business and entrepreneurship, that is one of the programs that we have. And as I've said, we offer different trainings, and you stand to make money for your business. For example, last year, this is when this kind of program was piloted, and the person who won, if my memory serves me well, I think they won $10,000 or $20,000, if my memory serves me well. But it was like a really cool thing, just even to witness it as it was carried out, if I may say, and to the moment where they, announced the winner and how the person got to win. The second leg of opportunity that we have as a benefit to you as a member in JCI is international cooperation. So as I said, we are in more than 5,000 locations. And this means that at any moment where we have international events, you get a chance to go out there and travel and interact with other people from different countries, people who are different than you, and you get to build these kind of international relationships just through traveling and being a part of these programs. I myself, through JCI or because of JCI, have friends like almost everywhere, because as these events are taking place, obviously you will interact with people. And even if it's taking place online, for example, some recent friends that I've gained, it was because of online trainings, and we just have chats here and there and connect on social media, or even on WhatsApp, because some of them I do talk to them on a regular on WhatsApp. So when you become a JCI member, if you're a person who loves to travel, then our organization is the best, because it offers that for you through different events and different trainings that are held all over the world. The third one is individual development. So as I said that we do a lot of trainings, and as you are being exposed to these kind of trainings, then that is how you will get to develop as a leader or as a person. I want to make an example with myself. So how I've developed so far in JCI. I joined JCI in 2015. Someone told me about it. And so the reason that they told me about it is they were starting JCI in Bloemfontein. And the person thought of me and said, hey, check out this link. And then they also gave me the constitution. It was such a thick book, and I was obviously like intimidated. And I'm not a law person, so I'm like, I must read this constitution. But after reading, honestly, I didn't read the whole constitution. I just think read what I thought mattered just to get the gist. But I did read on the link. And yeah, I just want to throw it in there that if you Google JCI and you check the Wikipedia page, the information on the Wikipedia page you can trust, because we are running our Wikipedia page ourselves. So you can just, after the session or whenever you find time, just go check out the Wikipedia page and read up a bit about JCI for yourself. So I was sharing my story. So 2015, they tell me about JCI, and I'm like, wow, sounds really interesting. And I've always been a person that's been interested in, leadership development. So I joined, and I was not like, I'm not a shy person, I'll say that, but I didn't know, or I didn't have the right etiquette on how to conduct myself when I'm speaking publicly. And I'll say that JCI has really helped me hone that through the different trainings that we've had. We also have a 1 year to lead policy. So this means that every year, like this year, I was voted in as the Secretary General. Next year, I cannot be the Secretary General again. It should be someone else. The national president, even all the way to JCI headquarters. This person who is the president this year cannot be president again next year or ever again. You just get one chance to be in that office. And we don't pick like people who specializes in this kind of office, because remember, we want to help you develop as a person. So there is a time when I was the executive vice president of an organization, for example, and the executive vice president just means that you are the executive to the president, so you are the second in charge, if I could say that. And I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to be that. As much as I'm interested in leadership, there was a time when I wasn't so confident in my leadership skill at that level, like, yeah, I can run an organization. Let's do this. There's a time when I was the director for public relations, and I've studied science. I'm a science person. I didn't know anything about public relations, but through that opportunity, I learned so much about PR. I learned so much about marketing. So far that, even after that, I went to open my own business. And I must say that the person who made me think about opening my own business is here, who is the international vice president, Mr. Michael Adenuga. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining tonight. So I don't know if you remember the conversation you had with me this one time, Vice President Michael. You said to me, you're not bad at this thing. Maybe you should consider doing PR and marketing things on the side for yourself. And I did take your advice, and I did go on to do that on the side. And that is something that I learned to do in JCI. I didn't even know that, I had a knack of PR and media things. So these kind of trainings that we give are really, really, beneficial to you as an individual. And you just might find that you have some hidden skills that you didn't even know about. And remember, business and entrepreneurship contributing to the community. Voila, I was able to contribute to the economic growth of my community just from a, a skill that I gained through being part of JCI. There's also public speaking trainings that we give, and I've had people who came in quite shy when they joined JCI, and after a year or two, they can stand confidently in front of people, they can speak well, and they can present well through trainings that they gave. So there's a lot that we offer in JCI that really benefits you as a person, and that's the third leg that I was talking about, or the third area of opportunity that I was talking about, which is individual development, right? And the last one is community impact. So, sorry, as much as I said that we are not a charity organization, we do, however, do projects that impact our community because we do care about the community around us. And I did mention before that the kind of projects that we do in communities, we make sure that those are sustainable projects. I will make an example of a project that was done by Jci and went on to win international awards. They found out that there is a local shelter that was ruined because of natural disaster. I don't remember whether it was a thunderstorm or what was the cause of that shelter, or it was like a strong wind or something like that, like a mini tornado that really ruined the shelter, and they needed help. They didn't know where to go, where to start, what are they going to do with the children. And they shared the story that the first thing that they did was, okay, these children need to eat tonight because everything has been ruined. So we need to make sure that they eat tonight and find a place for them to go tonight. But throughout the month, how that local organization got involved is they managed to involve local businesses and the local community, and they were able to build a shelter, like rebuild the shelter with the community for like through this project. So they built the shelter, they got in all the necessary furniture that was needed, and they, got in all the necessary infrastructure, everything that that shelter needed. Through this local organization, they were able to do that. So as you can see, this is something that is sustainable, and even to date, this local organization is still in touch with the shelter, and they're still helping them. So remember, I spoke about sustainability. So we don't do something once off. They could have just given the food once off and said, hi, you will see how you sort yourself out tomorrow and moving forward. So that's why I was saying that the kind of projects that we do really, really focus on, sustainable development. We look at long term, and also because of the projects we do and the stakeholders we bring, we are able to even come to a point where we say, okay, we have managed through our name, because remember, we are an international brand, and the doors, like the stakeholder doors that we knock on, they know the name JCI and they respect the name JCI. So this local organization, through the brand JCI, was able to go to the local stakeholders and connect these local stakeholders with the necessary people from the shelter. And when we lead a project that way, now I'm just going to go to a different scenario. We are able to now come to a point where maybe 5 years or 3 years with this particular community. Right now, Jci, if they were to say, okay, we're gonna now move on to find another project that we can focus on there, it wouldn't leave the shelter in a worse of place, for example, because they've opened the right doors, the right stakeholders that are able to continue sustaining the shelter. So if we leave a project, if I can say that, or it comes to a point where the project ends, we prefer to leave the people that we help better off. We prefer to leave them with partners that they can carry them throughout the other things that they may need, or we prefer to have given the people that we help the kind of skills that allows them afterwards to be able to sustain themselves. There's a saying that says that if you want to about teaching, a man to fish so that, they don't rely on you. Hey, Islung. But you guys get that. That's the idea that we're trying to have, to say when we do a project, we want to impact these people. Tata is laughing at me. We want to impact these people and empower them in such a way that when the project comes to an end or when we leave, we are leaving them better off and they can carry on themselves. So that is basically, what we do in JCI, and those are the, kind of development opportunities that you stand to be exposed to. So because we are an NPO, we don't have a source of income, and that's why we ask members to then pay, the membership. The membership fee that you give, the benefit that you get is these trainings, because when you are a member of JCI, these trainings are free to you. When someone is not a member, sometimes we do charge a fee to say, for someone who is coming from the outside and would like to join, then this is the fee that we are charging them. So the other reason is the administration and the running, right, of the organization. We have things like websites, some local organizations have websites, and us as a national organization, we also have a website. That website needs to be paid, right? We, look at things like stationery. We print things sometimes. There's things that we have to do administratively that needs to be paid for. And like I said before as well, we do pay a fee to our national organization as the local chapter, and the national organization pays a fee as well to headquarters. And the people who work in headquarters are there, like they're employed by headquarters, and they need to get paid, right? And be able to feed their own families. So over and above all these 4 areas of opportunity that you stand to benefit on when you become a JCI member, we are also cognizant of the running and the administration of the organization, and that needs to. So it has been 30 minutes now into the session. I'm just gonna pause there for a bit and see if we have questions or people want to ask something. I see someone is unmuted. Does that person have a question? Okay, they just muted again. So I'm just gonna go through. Right, the question is coming from Refile Kaba. What's expected of me as a member? Okay, thank you. That is a good question. I see someone says they can hear. Am I audible now? Can you guys hear me now?
You are perfect, madam.
Thank you.
Okay, just be careful of that sound in the background. I think that's the only stumbling block, but rather than that, you're perfect. It just appears on certain times when you're speaking.
Oh, I think my laptop might have a problem because I've done my best to mute any background sound. So before I answer that question, I just want to acknowledge my leaders who are here. I'm sorry that I'm only welcoming you now. The reason for that is when I'm sharing, I can't see who's joining and so forth. So I was able to see the international vice president that I did mention because he joined in and I was able to accept him. So thank you so much, international vice president, Mr. Michael Denuga, who is also a senator in JCI. I'm about to explain what is a senator and the other, organogram structures or levels of JCI. I also see the National Vice President, Ms. Ellen Yoni. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining. I also see the 2020 National President, Ms. Lindy Limbaza. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, I see the EVP. Wow, thank you so much. I feel so supported tonight. I see our Executive Vice President, Mr. Ziki Sambaza. Thank you so much, sir, for joining tonight. I really appreciate it. And I'm seeing all the other people from different local organizations as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And everyone who is here. Thank you so much. I'm recognizing as well names from email, people who emailed me asking for the link. You are more than welcome tonight, and thank you so much for being here and availing your time. I really appreciate it. So coming now to the question that is in the comment section, what's expected of me as a member? What is expected of you as a member when you join JCI is your passion, number one, and your commitment. Those two things are the only things that we require. So the reason I say passion is because I recently spoke to, we're just having a question with one of the senators in JCI, and he said to me, you know, when I go out and recruit people into JCI, or the kind of people that I recommend, yeah, I think that's the right word, because we don't go out to recruit, you know, we recommend people to join. And he says, when I ask or recommend someone to join JCI, is because I have assessed them and seen the kind of person that they are. And I like to recruit or recommend people who have passion. And when someone has passion, when you have passion for something, you know then that is the inner motivation that will carry you to stay committed in that thing, right? So he said to me that I like to go for people who are passionate and have passion, and also people who have a lot of commitment, and they've proven to be committed people. So those are the two things that we ask from you. And coming to commitment, so the first one is passion, because that will fuel you, that will motivate you to, you know, keep running and keep doing what you need to do. Commitment, because commitment, you give commitment through your time, right? You give commitment through your resources, right? Through your skills. That's how you show commitment. I've mentioned that we have projects. When we have these projects, we will need you as a member to come in and, you know, play a role and help carry out that project. That's how you show commitment. We will also need your commitment when we have trainings that are there to benefit you. You show up. So commitment is basically showing up. Commitment is also, you know, as I said, we are a membership based, and we pay a fee to a local organization. So when you are committed, you will also care that my local organization needs to run. Therefore, I need to give in that contribution to ensure that everything that needs to take place, everything that needs to be paid for in terms of the administration of the local organization will be, you know, paid for. So I hope that answers your question, Philwe. Just give me a thumbs up, or if you have a follow-up, you can just unmute and we can have a short, like a, yeah, if you have a follow-up. Is there someone else who has a question? Sorry for the background noise. It sounds like someone is drilling my neighbors. All right, so if there are no further questions, I'm just gonna go back to carrying on and talking about JCI. So in JCI, the different organogram structures are the local president, who is the person that's running the organization as the main leader, the executive vice president, like Mr. Zikisambaza. I apologize for the background, it's neighbors, and I unfortunately have very little control over that. So I was talking about the organogram structures. We have the president, we have the executive vice president, and we then have the vice presidents under the executive vice president. We have a treasurer, we have a secretary general, like myself, and we also have a general legal counsel. A general legal counsel is there to, you know, help make sure that everything that is in the Constitution is observed. So if something is done and it's out of the constitution or it is unconstitutional, then the General Legal Counsel is there to say, hey, now we are out of order. That's not how, according to the constitution, we do things. So the constitution, as we know, is there to, guide us, give us guidelines, show us, how to lead and manage our local organizations. So that's why the General Legal Counsel is there to keep us in check. The General Legal Counsel, which is so great, also have a right to call the president to order if the president is doing something that they shouldn't or that is unconstitutional. So yeah, we really believe in accountability and keeping everyone accountable. So the members, right? Then that's the members. Members are the most important people in our organization. When we have our annual general meeting, we usually have that as a national organization, or every national organization usually has that at the national convention. Short for it is NetCon. So the national convention or the national conference takes place around October usually. And there it is where all the members from every different local organizations comes together, to look at what has been done throughout the year, how far are we, and what have we achieved according to the goals that we've set up for ourselves. So I've said that we believe in accountability. Every year, the national president or the president of an organization has to put out a plan of action and say, okay, members, this is my vision. This is what I would like for us to achieve this year. And the members come together to say, okay, we have seen what you want to do this year. This is what we'd like to take out. This is what we'd like to add, or everything is fine, we are behind you. So I said we believe in accountability, and that's why we come together. So the members have a huge say in what goes on in their local organization. There isn't anything that gets done, with regards to the local organization without the members approving it. So every project that we do, the members have had a say. Because remember, I said plan of action at the beginning of the year. That's where we discuss such things. Which project are we going to carry out this year? What is the need that we've identified in our communities? And when are we going to do this project? When are we going to do this training? Do we need this training or that one? Do we not need this one? Should we rather substitute it for this one? So members have a huge say. So at the national convention around October, when the members come together, they are referred to as the General Assembly. A collective of members together are referred to the General Assembly, and General Assembly are the decision makers of every organization. So that's why I'm saying that you as a member are very, very important, and you have a huge say in what goes on into your local organization, into your national organization. And if it's not carried out, you have a right to say, no, that's not what we agreed. Or here, Mr. President or Ms. President, you are out of order. You were not supposed to do that. We didn't agree to that. Or to even say, you didn't do what you said you wanted to do. So we believe in accountability. We believe in, holding each other accountable and being transparent with everything that goes on in our organization. So coming to senators, I've said that the international vice president is a senator. So senatorship is a lifetime membership that is awarded to an individual. Usually, these individuals are people who have really contributed to their local organization. They have done, such an incredible amount of contribution. They have contributed so incredibly that the members of their local organization is like, we need to honor this person, and we're gonna honor them by giving them a lifetime membership into the organization. So a senator, once they reach the age of 40, they can continue being active in our organizations because they have that lifetime membership. But if you as a member reaches the age of 40, unfortunately, that's it. We have to say goodbye and we have to bid thee well. But if you are a senator, then you get to still stay and still have a say in your organization, even though senators cannot vote when they turn 40, because remember, after 40 you're not active anymore. But we still go to them as advisors. These are people who have walked the journey and they've done so much, that they've gained so much skill and knowledge in leadership and what Jci is about, that presidents still go to them, or leaders in the different organograms still go to them and ask for advice and ask for guidance. So I want to ask if there's any questions so far. Please remember that you can at any stage put your question in the comment box. So as I said, Jci is not a charity organization, but we do provide members with an opportunity and tools to make meaningful changes to the world around them through sustainable projects, like I said, that boost the economy and the growth of society. What we are not is that we are not a school for professional trainers. So I've said that you are able to give training after, acquiring a certain skill. And also because our members are between the ages of 18 and 40, most of them are working professionals. And most of the time, these working professionals do give, their skill through the kind of trainings that we have. For example, there is an official training called financial management in JCI, and it is done by one of our South African senators, Senator Untitled. He does it throughout the world, internationally, where JCI reaches. So he will have, national presidents from different parts of the world asking him to give this, official training. And he is in the financial sector himself. So that's how we as JCI members also come to contribute our skill through the different kind of trainings that we give, because it is our profession. So those kind of trainings then gives you, your personal benefit or personal development through that. We are not a social club, or we are not a business networking organization, but we open doors to countless opportunities for friendship, partnership across hundreds of industries, as I said. So JCI is all over the world, and you can imagine the kind of varied professions that JCI members are into. So when you travel, like I said, international opportunity or international exposure, you get the chance to interact with these people. They can become your mentors in your varied profession, whether you're in business, whether you are a scientist, whether you are whatever you are. You have this well of human resources that you can tap into at any time, and just let it benefit you in your different areas of your personal life or professional life. So this year, the main in this year, there's only three from JCI headquarters. This year, we wish to grow our brand. So I've said that we are an international global organization, but there's still people who don't know about us, right? So we want to take our brand and increase our visibility so that we get more people to come and be a part of this amazing organization and get the same benefits that we have been getting. I mean, we don't want to keep it all to ourselves. There's something called JCI Rise in JCI. Let me first of all tell you what RISE stands for. We like acronyms in JCI. So let me basically tell you what RISE stands for first. The R in JCI Rise stands for rebuilding, and the I stands for invest. And okay, is it fine now?
Madam, you may proceed.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I wasn't sure how the person was able to still continue talking when it seemed like they were already muted. It was quite a weird thing that happened there. So sorry about that. So I was talking about JCI Rise, and I was telling you what it stands for because it is an acronym in itself. And I said that the R stands for rebuild, the I invest, the S sustain, and the E evolve. So JCI Rise has different legs through which we do projects, and the first one is mental health. After 2020, or during 2020 rather, let me say, when the global pandemic hit, the international president at that time, the president from HQ, thought, how can we as JCI come to a point where we are impacting our local communities in this time of the pandemic? If you can remember, that was a very confusing time because so many of us didn't know what to do, didn't know how to go about things. And in this time, we also came to pay attention, or let me rather say, the pandemic exposed a lot of things. I was talking the other day with someone and we said 2020 exposed to us as the human race what matters and what does not matter. And if we can remember, during that time, it was a very challenging time throughout the world. And the president, Mr. Itai Manyere, thought to come up with this initiative and through it to focus us on three things, which is one, business recovery, two, economic recovery, business and economic recovery, and our mental health, and also focusing us on our local economies. So these projects are what we have been focusing on a lot, to say the pandemic has hit a lot of businesses negatively. So how can we as JCI members come together to help our local businesses? It has also, made us realize how important mental health is. And I will dare say that for a lot of people before the 2020 pandemic, mental health was still a taboo, more especially in the Black community. I remember that before the pandemic, way back, there's a time when I went to a psychologist and I told my mom that there's still a lot of childhood things or childhood traumas that has happened, and I'm realizing that I need to talk to a professional. I remember my mom was shocked first, was angry with me, and I've also heard a lot of my friends say that when they talk about mental health and needing to talk to a professional, to their families, and even in some of our churches, it's like, no, we don't do that. As Black people, we don't go to psychologists, or in our church, we believe that God will take care of everything and we don't need psychologists. But I believe that the 2020 pandemic really made us realize the importance of checking our mental states and checking on ourselves, checking on our emotions. And we do these projects through JCI Rise, or the then president, international president, I keep saying national, the then international president thought, especially because a lot of people were in isolation, they didn't have the support, the usual support that they have of their families, of their usual support structures. How do you survive? How do you keep positive? How do you keep your mental health in a good state? So the projects that we do through JCI Rise are also focused on that. We focused on sustaining, on revitalizing economics, and also in ensuring good mental health for everyone. Yeah. So the last thing, I'm now coming to a close. The last thing that I wanted to just bring your attention to quickly about JCI, now that you're about to become a member, we are very much about you participating, being active, coming through with all the projects that we do. And we are also about giving you an opportunity to develop as a person, to positively impact your community, to positively contribute to the economy of your community or society as well. And we're also about bringing positive contributions to the runnings of our community. So I mentioned earlier that as a member, your president, for example, cannot do a project without the members agreeing, right? And how the members come to agree is that the members first look at what is the need in their community. For example, if the community needs for the local park, like the local recreational park, to be revamped. Let's say the state of the park now is a place where people go buy drugs, is a people where gangsters hang, and the community wants to revive that and make it a safe place for their children to go play at, for them to go have picnics as a family. But we as the organization, as the local organization, saying we are going to go and do a project that is going to focus on something else, then you've missed the plot completely. So we really believe in involving our local community. We really believe in involving the local companies, you know, to come in through sponsorships or however methods that they come in. But the most important person outside of the member of the organization is the member of the community, because we need to work together to come to a way where we positively impact and we relevantly impact our community. The needs of a community in Bloemfontein might be completely different to the needs of a community in Cape Town. So you need to really include your local community to come to a point where you do projects that matter, you do relevant projects that they need. We also have something called JVC, which is a virtual JCI community. So it works much like Facebook. That's the best way to explain it, but you will get to learn more about it when you become a member. So it's like Facebook, and that's where we post things that we are doing as JCI members across the world. So for example, after this training, maybe I'm going to take a picture and say, we did this kind of training tonight, and this was the outcome, and this is what it brought. So it's just a way to tell the members throughout the world, throughout the 5,000 locations that we reach, to say, hey, this is what we're doing, and to see as well and motivate each other and say, keep going, you're doing great. This is what we did for our community. Wow, that's amazing. It's also a platform where we get to learn, ways, because a local organization in Malaysia could be doing a similar project to what we did, or what we are busy with in our local organization, and you can learn from them to say, how did you get this done? How, what did you do? Who did you talk to? To be able to know as well on, the best practice of how to do things. So I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop there for now. I really wanted to keep this session to an hour, and I really, really hope that you have learned a lot. So at this point, I'm gonna ask that if you have any questions, please do raise your hand, or you can type. Let's just engage quickly for a good 5 minutes before we all have to go again. I see the 2020 president. Very informative session. Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam. I appreciate that positive feedback. Sibonelo, you can unmute yourself. I see your hand.
Okay, so I have a very quick two. I think it's going to be very quick. It's just two questions that I have actually. The first one, in terms of, for example, the roles that one plays, like for example, in terms of Secretary General, is it something where you get deployed by a board, or it's something that you get elected for that particular position? That was the first question. And the second question that I had is in terms of, let's say, for example, a specific project that you might have, or that is running a program. Is it something that you also get requested for a specific program, or do you get requested to join a specific program? So, for example, if I want to join the leadership program, is it something that I have to apply for, or is it something that, for example, they just say, okay, look, when you be a best fit for this type of program? That's it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much for those great questions, Sibonelo. So the first question you asked, do we get deployed or do we get elected? We get elected. Every local officer or national officer is voted in by the members. So yes, that answers your question. And the next one about projects and the kind of trainings that we have. So as I've said, in a local organization, the members come together, they assess what is the need in their different communities, and then they come together and come up with a project that's gonna answer or mitigate that need. So that's how we do projects. And as for trainings, as I said at the beginning, I spoke about plan of action. So the local president will come up with a plan of action and say, these are the kind of trainings that I think our members need, or the members will also get a say to say, these are the kind of training that we need this year. And that's how trainings are done. There's also, so there's trainings in a local organization and there's training at a national organization. But because these days we are living in a virtual world, most of the trainings that we are doing mostly this year and the previous year have been through online sessions. So if Jci Old Swearing, which is one of our local organizations, for example, they have a training coming up where they're talking about, how to like self-management post-COVID, for example, and it's an online session. So you will get to access that kind of training as a JCI member because it is online. So I hope that answers your question, Sibonelo.
Yep, Crystal, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I see that there's comments that are coming as well in the chat box. Ikona says, thank you, SG. Even if you've been in the organization for a while, there's something new that one can learn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Ikona. I have a question from Rifile. She's asking, how interconnected are the local organizations? Remember I said that we refer to local organizations and we only use the word chapter for the benefit of people understanding. So to answer Rifile, how interconnected are the chapters? The local organizations, I said chapter myself. The local organizations are very interconnected. We encourage, as the national officers, we encourage the local presidents to work with each other. There are times where these trainings also are done by the different local organizations at the same time. For example, recently we just had a training and it was in collaboration with JCI Mangawung, which is in Bloemfontein, and JCI Durban, and I think they were collaborating with JCI Tshwane, if I remember correctly. So we definitely encourage collaboration. And remember I said as well, the kind of projects that we do, we collaborate as well with different stakeholders. And we also, as an NPO, collaborate with other NPOs when it comes to, achieving one goal. So, for example, I'm just going to make a quick example about collaboration. We as JCI, stand against gender-based violence. And there is a national NGO that is working with that every day. So when we do a anti-gender-based violence project, we will definitely go to that NGO because they do it every day and collaborate and learn the best practice. So to answer you in short, Refilwe, we believe and encourage collaboration by all means. And yes, our local organizations collaborate with each other, you know, all the time. I hope that answers your question. I have a comment from, thank you, looking forward to the year ahead. Yay, you're going to become a great member, Refilwe. I'm so excited to have you come in. And I see Luyanda Msomi, thank you for this session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that positive comment, Ms. Luyanda Msomi. I really appreciate it. So at this stage, before I let everyone leave, I'm going to ask you to please switch on your videos if we can. We love to take photos in JCI. So please, I'm just going to ask everyone before we go, please switch on your videos and let's take a picture together as I thank you for joining the session tonight. Thank you, NSG. Thank you so much, VP Ellen. Thank you for being here. And I've seen you post throughout this week, the poster. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's take a quick picture together. And then I'm gonna, for you guys, let's go back to the sauna and hear our national president of the country. Right. If you also can take a photo, please go ahead to do so in your own space. You can just send it to me later. If you have my WhatsApp number or through email, however you can reach me, please do take photos as well. Okay. Everyone say JCI. JCI. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate this. I appreciate you availing yourselves. Have a great evening and enjoy the State of the Nation address by our President, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa. Have a great evening.